Greetings, fellow movie connoisseurs, since we're not talking about toys tonight. I am your host, the Digital Caveman, tonight, hosting the Banger Society. And so since you probably all know me, let's talk about everybody else. Prophet?
I am the Prophet Director. I do stop motion animated action figure reviews and a bunch of other little comedy sketch type things. You can find me occasionally on Digital's channel here on Sergeant Curtis Schultz Star Wars Squawk Box all the time, on M3 Reviews channel all the time, and occasionally on the Casual Toy Chat. Tonight we're going to be talking about movies. We had 6 panelists, only 4 of which are here. One of them had their power taken out by the weather, and the other one's under the weather. So whatever the reason, they decided they couldn't be here tonight, whether or not, it doesn't matter. Anyway, slice it. It'll be just the 4 of us. So when we come across their movies, we're just going to say,
We'll just say,
let you know who picked it and move on, I guess. But yeah, so next up we got M3.
Hello, I am M3 from M3 Reviews. You can call me M3 from M3 Reviews. I am just chilling here tonight. It's a great night, and I am honored to be within the movie range of from 1980. Now we're all the way up to 1987. We've covered all the years, top 10s of each of our favorite, and I was really glad to do that. 87 appeared to be a harder year. But it got, as June went on, the better movies came out. June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So thank you, Prophet. Thank you, Digital, for hosting. Shout out Bullwinkle. What's up, man? Bullwinkle might be out and about with his kids right now. He just did mention that he was going to be in and out. So, Bull, there is.
Toddlers are going to toddler when it comes to bedtime.
Yes, they certainly do.
But Bullwinkle can be found with us normally from here and there. On this show, we have 5 regular panelists and a guest panelist. And Bullwinkle is our guest panelist this week. He was on with us before. I believe he was on for the Marvel Cinematic Universe with us when we did that one.
Yeah.
But basically, the way this works is we each give our top 10 movies of the year in question, 1987 for this time. And then based on how many people pick it, that's where it gets its rank. So if one person picks it, it gets a rank of D. If 2 pick it, it gets a rank of C. If 3, a rank of B, and so on and so forth. And if 5 or 6 of the panelists pick it, it is an S-ranked movie, which is the best of the best. Bullwinkle's back. Bullwinkle, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, everyone. I'm Bull 80, Bullwinkle 80. Sometimes I'm Merman. Sometimes. Or Merman comes and hangs out. I don't really do a YouTube channel. Just kind of hang out with people that do, like you guys, and have fun doing it. Looking forward to the show. Some people's in chat. Let's see. We got Zeta. We got Big M. That's cool. What's up, guys? Ready to start the show and have a good night. And if I'm bouncing in and out, it's probably because I'm doing bedtime right now with the kids. So
toddlers are gonna toddler. So as it normally starts out, we talk about the thumbnail real quick. My human avatar lives in Chicago, and therefore the Chicago theater is the theater I picked for my thumbnail series. As you can see here, Sergeant Schultz and I are out in front of the theater along with M3. RoboCop has a grudge against M3, as does this Predator on the rooftop here. And if we zoom in on M3, you can see where RoboCop and the Predator are aiming. Neither one likes M3's eggplant as much as M3 does. I always try to put in relevant movie posters. RoboCop, Full Metal Jacket, The Predator, and Lethal Weapon. And the marquee will always have movies from the year we are picking. Every one of these is on somebody's list.
Awesome.
So if no one else has anything else to add, I guess we can get started with the movies.
great job on the marquee. Super fucking cool.
As always.
Thank you very much. All right, so starting off, we've got A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, picked by M3. Not that the rest of us didn't like it, but there was a lot to pick from in '87.
Yes, there was.
Tell us why you're afraid to sleep.
Well, this movie, when it came out, and my wife could agree with me, it was one of the scariest movies that we've ever come across, and thought that it was done like first of our kind of a horror movie that really stuck with us, our dreams. Once you're in that dream state, and you can't really control stuff, Freddy really manipulates that. Fucking comes across really good. There's some good panty scenes in this. We covered it in Halloween Bangers. Shout out Curtis Schultz. Moto Viper 21, Too Many, Susan, and motherfucking New Soundwave. We did that shit, man. It was great times talking about these movies. A really cool movie, and the whole the whole comedy spiel that Freddy adds to this is great. But you don't really see it as comedy until later on in life. You just think he's just like this guy that's coming after you. Fucking, you're gonna die in your dreams. Really, really stuck with us. It doesn't scare me to date. I could watch it over and over and not be scared. When I was 17, 16, 15, 14, no, 10, 11 when this came out, my mom brought it home and we watched it on a VCR tape. That's Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Dream Warriors. Okay, yeah. Excuse me. Dream Warriors had a lot of a different kind of like take on it, and there's a lot of Freddy really came out and was more comedical in these, but the TV, the head in the TV, they did really good. These four people had to come after him and solidify his fate in this movie. It's pretty good. Thanks, Prophet.
Nice. And with you being so short, being the size of a child, you are a feasible victim of Freddy Krueger. But needless to say, because the rest of us didn't have room on our lists, M3 was the only one who was able to pick this one, and therefore it gets a rank of D.
Nice.
Next up on the list is another solo pick, also an M3 pick. M3, why don't you tell us the value of Adventures in Babysitting beyond Elizabeth Shue?
Beyond Elizabeth Shue, who is in the Karate Kid, super cool girl. The whole scheme of this, she's a babysitter, and she's got to watch these kids for the night, and something ends up happening. I haven't seen this movie for a couple years, and I actually wanted to catch up on my own knowledge on a lot of these movies that I picked so I can have something fresh and cool to say. But I can't because I didn't, because we partied the last month on everybody's fucking backstages and shit. But this is a great movie. Really set home to me. But literally, I've only watched it one time, and it's a shame because I should watch it again to really get the gist of it. But I like Elizabeth Shue. The kids that were in it ended up going into some other movies, but Adventures in Babysitting, yeah, I couldn't. If I could recommend it, I would recommend seeing it at least once. Good director. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure the same director did Howard Duck did this, if I'm not wrong. But there was some good. Just watching this trailer bit right here. That's right. Remembering a lot. Pretty cool. Good movie. Thanks, Prophet.
There you go.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response you came close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Shout out Shark to Khan.
No points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Not M3 is the only one that picked it, and therefore it gets a rank of D. I do have to say I did enjoy the movie, though.
Yeah.
Next on the list, we have Batteries Not Included. Picked by Digital. Digital, tell us why you don't need batteries.
Well, I don't use a lot of electrical implements, but I mean, this was a fun movie. It's the same kind of fun in the same vein as Cocoon. and you know, it's like a building full of people, and they meet these aliens, and the aliens are like this big, and it was just a cool thing that I don't remember having ever been done before.
Mhm.
And you know, I thought it was a really fun movie.
Oh, I remember.
You look at that; they just slapped some cheese on that bitch.
I remember that. Yeah, it was a good movie.
Nice. Yeah, very, very. It was entertaining for sure. But again, you know, like we were saying, a lot of good movies out in '87. You're gonna find there's a lot of D-rank movies this year.
Yeah,
but not because they're bad. It's just because there was so much to choose from,
there
and
there was.
But the things that we did agree on, we agreed on hard. But next up, we've got Beverly Hills Cop, and this was picked by Ed. Ed is not here today due to an illness. But you know, as far as Beverly Hills Cop 2 is concerned, Bridget Nielsen has never looked better. Eddie Murphy has never been funnier. And who doesn't love Taggart and Rosewood, especially Rosewood?
And
But
M3's
Ed's not
favorite
here, so we're gonna skip on past this one, and it does get a rank of D.
M3's favorite part of that movie is the old banana up the tailpipe trick.
I like when he at the shooting range when he offers his grooming services to shave, you know,
Yeah.
Bridget Nielsen's legs. Very nice. Next up on the list, Eddie Murphy Raw, and sadly, this was picked by Curtis. And Curtis is also out. The harsh weather in his area knocked his power out, so Curtis cannot be with us this evening. But Eddie Murphy Raw, it is a comedy hour. It did get a theatrical release, and it was pretty hilarious. I do think Delirious is slightly better, but Raw is a very strong comedy special.
Is Raw the red suit or the purple suit?
Raw is the
Red
purple
suit.
suit.
That's the purple suit?
Delirious is the red suit.
Oh.
Okay. Well, and
But
go ahead. Sorry. Forgive me.
yeah, unfortunately, Curtis isn't here to tell us why he loved it so much. But we all loved it. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It did.
But we didn't all have room on our lists, so it gets a rank of D.
Hella D's.
Yeah, there's a
And
lot
Eddie
of D's.
Murphy.
I think this is the most D's we've ever had, but it's also the
Eddie
most S's that were picked by everybody.
Cool.
Eddie Murphy's getting all the D's.
Eddie Murphy is getting a lot of D.
Raw.
Next on the list, we've got Evil Dead 2, and this was picked by myself and Curtis. And Curtis is not here, but I am, so I'll talk about it. Sam Raimi changed horror with this movie. He added an element of comedy to it and still managed to make it terrifying. I remember, like, one of my grandfather's neighbors, he had a deer head mounted on the wall in his living room. And after watching this movie, I could not sit in his living room without being terrified that deer was going to start laughing at me.
Oh.
Like, I wasn't afraid it was going to do anything. I just thought it would make fun of me or something. But yeah, this movie's great. The Deadites, like, the franchise is panned out into something so huge, it's ridiculous. The stop motion animation of his headless girlfriend, unmatched, fantastic. And again, he introduced the comedy element into horror in this that, like, really didn't exist before this film. But yeah, this I couldn't leave this off my list. Love this movie way too much and what it did for horror.
Yes, I wanted to put that one on mine so bad.
Right. But Curtis and I were the only ones who were able to pick this one, so gets a rank of C. Next on the list, we've got one of Bullwinkle's picks, Full Metal Jacket. Bull, why don't you take us a walk through the harshest boot camp in the universe?
He may not be
Bull's,
here. He's muted.
Bull's dealing with some toddlers, apparently. But I guess I'll say a few words about it. Army Hammer, real world drill sergeant, came in to train an actor to do it, but they liked the way he did it so much better that he became an actor after this.
Really?
Yep, that's absolutely right. Army Hammer was not an actor before this film. He was a drill sergeant brought in as a consultant.
Wow.
And Vincent D'Onofrio as Private Pyle really kills it in this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great movie. Could have easily made my list, but there was some quirky things that I just love too much and couldn't leave off.
Yep.
But yeah, Bullwinkle picked this, and I'm sure he'll be back in a minute and be sad that he didn't get to talk about it. But anyways, Bull was the only one who had room on his list for it, which is kind of crazy in hindsight, but
Yeah.
it gets a rank of D. All right, next on the list.
Hey, sorry.
Okay. You know what, Bull? Since you're
I'm here.
here,
I can do real quick. I'll do real quick on
Full
it.
Metal Jacket.
Yeah, I can talk about it real quick. Just one of those movies I liked watching when I was a child. It was about Vietnam and things that interested me with, war and guns and playing guns and the army and things like that. Cool story with Joker and Pyle and how the sergeant treated him when he first got into the military, and then them going through everything in Vietnam together, and some great actors in there. You got the Vincent guy in it from that new series, Daredevil. He's a really good actor.
Yeah, D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Lee Emery or however you say his name. He's really good. The drilling sergeant, he was really cool. Just a good movie, man. I'm sure everybody on the panel enjoys that movie. You could probably say 1,000 things about it, but we can move on to the next one. Sorry, I was finishing up.
Oh, no, it's all good, my brother. And the next one's actually yours as well.
Another Vietnam movie.
Well, it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of them.
You are to be in Vietnam and not Greece, where the women look like Zorba.
I mean, just another cool movie, man. I don't know. What can we say about him? He's wonderful. He died way too soon. Great actor. Very comedic actor. Just a cool movie, man. Just everything about it. Good morning, Vietnam. And just how he just made light to trying to help people get over, I guess, the war times and things like that, putting a smile on people's faces. It was just a cool movie, man. It's just another one of those movies I grew up watching. My father was in Vietnam. It's kind of a subject sometimes talked about, sometimes not, but we always kind of enjoyed the Vietnam type era movies in my household when I was, 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. We watched this. Good flick.
I never seen it.
Oh, God, you need to check it out, man. It's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
But, Robert Williams, rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Robin Williams. Great, man.
As good as it was, though, Bullwinkle's the only one who could find room on his list for it. And therefore, it also gets a rank of D. You can see the D's are running away with it today.
Yeah, see, is there going to be like 2 rows of D's?
Harry and the Hendersons, picked by M3 and Curtis. However, Curtis is not here, so M3, tell us about your hairy big feet on your own.
My mom brought this home on a video cassette. We watched it. It's the most adorable fucking Bigfoot movie you could possibly watch. I highly recommend this. And for anybody that likes or thinks anything about Bigfoot, this movie did it great justice. From the time they bring him home, because they kind of feel sorry that they hit him, they take him home. The neighbor lady comes over and is like, they're trying to hide this guy. He ends up being really humble, ends up learning a little bit of tricks, ends up befriending the family very well, and shows that he's got a brain. And just the fact that he intertwines, and at the end, you really get to see his nature side and his other family members is great. Perfect movie. Super well written. Who wrote that, Prophet? Did it come up on a thing right there? But yeah, what a great movie. Oh,
yeah, let's see. It might say here on the movie poster. William Deere.
Man, okay, I wonder if
Written
that's
and directed by William Deere.
wow, a newbie then, right? Because I don't know of anything else he's done. But what a great movie! If you guys like anything about Bigfoot, I highly suggest it.
And look at
Yeah,
those
it's very
sad
funny.
eyes. How could you not love this Sasquatch?
Yeah. He's
But
like,
M3 and Curtis both picked this one, so it gets a rank of C. It's a very chauvinistic list, the D outranking the C by quite a bit. Next on the list, Hellraiser, picked by Digital. Digital, tell us why you flirt with hell.
I don't know. I remember watching this one, on VHS, and there was a lot of people were talking about it, at least in my area. So I had to check it out, and this guy with these nails in his face, and this other guy, he solves this box, and all of a sudden, these guys come and get him and take him to hell, and they're torturing the shit out of him, and pain is pleasure, and just like the look of the movie is just cool.
yeah.
I mean, it really has that, I don't know, that grimy horror aesthetic, I guess. And then just the set designs on this, like when they go, well, I guess this one isn't the one where they really went to hell, but it was just creepy as shit. And this one and the second one, those are the ones I really watched. After that, I watched them, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after the fourth one, I'm just like, I can't watch no more of this.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was really good.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have any figurine?
I do not have any Hellraiser figures. I haven't.
Yeah, NECA made a decent pinhead.
I just haven't found any that jumped out at me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a really great horror movie, but I just didn't have room on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful, because you can order that puzzle box off of Temu.
I've got the puzzle box, and I've got
Right. Well, but here's the thing: you order it off Temu, it's going to come from China, so the torture demons that you summon are going to be very low quality.
third party demons.
But anyways, because the only Digital found room on his list, it gets a rank of D.
No, Pinhead gets the D.
Pinhead.
Well, keep in mind, folks, D is not a bad rank to have, because the 6 panelists picked their top 10 movies from 1987. So even if a movie is ranked D, it's still in somebody's top 10.
Yeah, if it made this list, if it made anybody's list, if we're showing it on here, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah, in my opinion, there's only one exception to that rule on this list. There's one every year though. Last in '86, it was Howard the Duck M3's pick. But that's just my opinion. And who the hell am I? I'm just some plastic action figure with a gold head. But next on the list, now here is our first S rank film, picked by literally everyone. Lethal Weapon. Bull, why don't you start us off on Lethal Weapon? Or Digital, why don't you start us off?
Okay, I'll start. First of all, I want to say I'm too old for this shit, and but this movie is the quintessential cop buddy movie. When you think of a cop buddy movie, this is the movie you think of, because at first they don't get along at all. They hate each other, and you see, like, throughout the series, not just this movie, but throughout the series, you see how they get closer and closer, and they're like family. And it's just the Danny Glover character, who's he's like, I'm getting ready to retire, and then they partner him up with the craziest asshole on the police force because they don't know what else to do with him. It's a really great movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been, because again, this is the quintessential buddy cop movie. And I'll leave the rest for somebody else to talk about.
Right, indeed, definitely an amazing buddy cop movie. I think it's the best buddy cop series out there. The first one, Lethal Weapon, is really the only one where the title truly fits, because the reason they called him the Lethal Weapon was because he was suicidal because his wife had been murdered. And that led him to do a lot of crazy shit, like jump off a building with a suicide jumper, run headfirst into gunfire, do Three Stooges shit with people who are shooting at him. It's but you get a lot of character development over this series, and none of it's possible without this first film in the bunch. Mel Gibson really does a fantastic job of portraying a man who's devastated emotionally. And it's Murtaugh and his family that pull him out of that, and just such a great movie. I'm going to stop talking about it. Bullwinkle, how about you, man? Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, same thing, man. Great cop buddy movie. Like, these guys, they hated each other at the beginning. I love the fact that Mel Gibson's character is just any second can just be unchained and do anything because he really doesn't care. He has nothing really to live for anymore. And just to have his character do some of the craziest crap, and the police officer that's about to retire, he's thinking this guy's trying to get me killed the whole time. What am I doing? Just a cool. And then they become, like family, over the series and everything. So just one of those good 1987 flicks, man.
Right. M3?
The writing, the cinematism, the costume designers, the actors picked, the people portrayed, everything from the pyrotechnics all the way up through everything else. This movie was so phenomenal that all of us picked it.
Right. And since no one else mentioned it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Gary Busey as the villain, just something special. I mean, that man doesn't have to act crazy. Yeah. He is crazy.
He is.
Hell yeah.
But we all picked this one. So we've got our first S-ranked film of the evening.
Cool.
Next up, Mannequin. Picked by M3 and Sergeant Schultz. And again, Sergeant Schultz is out. So M3, this movie's like right up your alley, dude. Yeah, Women Made of Plastic is like your favorite thing in the world, man. Tell us why.
It makes so much sense. I don't know. I like the kid playing it. He was in 16 Candles and or not 16 Candles, but one of those.
Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, Andrew McCarthy. He's great. And Kim Cattrall, super cool. She was in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Thank you.
Porky's.
But I didn't know fucking not Mahoney, but the sergeant was in there. Holy shit! And honestly, when I was a kid and I saw this, I didn't think anything weird of it. I was like, oh, it's like kind of like a magical thing, But look at the people see him with a mannequin. That's me, bro. Driving. God. Megan sitting right next to me, dude, head turned, wind blowing. That's so stupid, dude. But no, it makes sense today, right? Gosh dang it. Great movie. I do recommend it. It did make my top 10. It was over whatever. It was over Full Metal Jacket.
Hey, it was one of those movies almost made my top 10 too. But I mean, these are one of those movies I've watched multiple times in the 80s, being 12, 14, 15 years old. I haven't seen this movie in 25 years. I couldn't tell you really what it was about besides what I kind of remember 25 years ago. But
well, what I take away from this movie is it came from a time when we weren't afraid to have our token gay be extremely flamboyant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But this was picked by two people, so it gets the rank of C.
Yeah, didn't they have Little Richard in the sequel?
They might have.
They made a sequel?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there's another one. It's Mannequin 2, TOO.
Oh, funny.
Oh, that's cool.
Next on the list, Digital's pick. This year's Howard the Duck. Masters of the Universe.
Excuse me.
Digital, tell us why you think it's okay that they left Eternia.
Okay. I picked this movie because this movie is a great example of 80s cheese. And probably the cheesiest movie in 1987. You know, there were some issues between this movie and Superman 4, which were both canon films. And, you know, there was a lot of the budget that was promised to Superman 4 that kind of got swept over to Masters of the Universe. And
it's a shame you can't see that budget on the screen.
Yeah, I know, right? They must have spent it on Frank Langella. But, you know, I think the costumes, for the most part, you know, they look good. I think the biggest issue people have with this movie, other than, you know, they leave Eternia and go to Earth, is the fact that it's so drastically different than what everyone was expecting it to be. Everyone was pretty much expecting it to be, you know, a live action episode of the cartoon, and it was completely not that. And, you know, even some of the costuming choice, especially with He-Man, you know, there's only little bits and hints of the toys and stuff in it. But you know, I'm not going to say this is the Star Wars of the 80s, because it's not. But you know, again, like I said, it's a great example of that 80s cheese factor. And you know, Courtney Cox and Robert Duncan McNeil also in this film. I remember watching it after Voyager came on. I'm like, oh shit, Tom Paris is in this movie. For those of you who watch Star Trek. But you know, I like it. I enjoy it. I have it on DVD. I'll watch it every once in a while.
Hell yeah,
Just
brother.
for shits and giggles.
You don't have it playing over and over?
Oh no, not over and over.
Here's the thing, man. Evelyn is like pretty hot, but Quildor makes me physically feel bamboo shoots being jammed under my fingernails.
Come on, man. That's Billy Barty.
Yeah, in his worst role ever, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't blame Dolph Lundgren or Frank Langella or the actors. I blame the writers for this one's failure.
The writers and the studio. The studio had a lot.
Right. Well, you know, when you don't trust the source material, you change too much. Just look at every live action G.I. Joe movie up to this point.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, only Digital had the bravery to pick this.
Yes. Come on, man. Frank Langella is Skeletor.
He-Man was one of my favorite cartoons, toy lines, everything. Even maybe not at 12 years old when this came out, but it still was top of mind, you know, things I liked. And I did not like this movie at all, even at 12 years old. I was like,
I mean, this movie is to Masters of the Universe what that fucking Chow Yun-Fat movie was to Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my God, what a bad movie.
That was a great movie.
And I'm a Dragon Ball guy, so yeah, you're right. It's the same thing.
That's great 90s cheese.
Next up, we've got Moonstruck, and this movie was picked by Ed. Ed is not here tonight due to illness. But, you know, we basically got Cher cheating on her husband with a much younger man, Nicolas Cage. And at some point, she becomes a werewolf, and that's all I know about this movie. That's not true at all.
That's more than I know about it. So
that's not true at all, but Ed's not here to tell me I'm wrong. So
that's all I know.
It's a rank of D, and we move on. You know, and this was Cher back when she was only like 55. So wow.
Wait. Let me ask you one question. There's one movie to watch until the end of time, and it's Howard the Duck or Moonstruck. Which one are you picking?
Oh, I watch Moonstruck over Howard the Duck every time, dude. Moonstruck's actually a really great movie.
Okay.
Oh man, I thought you were going to say
well acted. It's a good story, even though she's like you know, a little infidel.
I've never seen it.
It's a much better movie than Howard the Duck, 100%.
Okay, Howard the Duck or Masters of the Universe?
That's what I was going to ask him.
Oh man, you're asking me to pick between like the frying pan and the fire. But yeah, if I had to watch one of them over and over, it would be Masters of the Universe because at least there's some.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, Howard the Duck is just
I know. You tell us all every day we talk to you. You tell us.
it's the worst comic book movie ever made, man. But anyways, next on the list, Over the Top.
Yeah.
Picked by Bull.
The
Tell
only
us why
person.
Stallone's arms turn you on so much.
Well, it's not quite his arms. It's more the hats. You see how I wear? This is how I wear my hat all the time because I understand the power of the turn of the hat. What it does for you.
Doesn't work without the snapback, though.
It doesn't. You're right. It has to have the snapback. That's what I'm always telling with one. I don't know, man. Great flick, dude. I was always, just like everybody else, huge Sylvester Stallone, guy. I loved all his movies, all the Rockies, all that stuff up to this time. Another great movie of him just being a great dad, doing the right thing, going against the bad and trying to keep his son and keep him away from him. He's just trying to do, make a good living for himself and love his kid. And this the things he has to go through and just the whole arm wrestling thing. I don't know, man. It's just so 1980s and just full of masculinity and give me your arm and rip it off. And I always wanted to arm wrestle that big bull dude. Like, yeah, bring it on, big guy. So yeah, man, I love this movie growing up. I can't tell you how many times I watched it. 20 times in 88, 87, 89. Tons of times back then. So yeah, man, that's why I picked it.
That's cool.
What do you guys think about it?
We arm wrestle everybody, dude. I've only lost an arm wrestling competition one time, right? Not a competition, but with your friends and shit.
Yeah.
I never lost. The only person that got me was my friend Luis. Shout out Luis Munoz, man.
I like arm wrestling also. That's another reason why I like this movie. And I'd like to arm wrestle you, M3. That'd be nice.
No, you'd win. Right now, dude, my daughter would win. Okay. Don't even ask me for a left arm. You're taking me so fast, it's gonna be ridiculous, bro. Yeah.
Well, I will say it's a decent enough movie. It's just I need a little more of a premise than arm wrestling to get it into my top 10.
Yeah.
But Bull liked it enough, and therefore it gets a rank of D.
Yeah, D. Woo!
Next on the list, Overboard. Now, Overboard was picked by a few. Bullwinkle, Ed, M3, and Curtis. Well,
Nice.
2 out of these 4 are here, so why don't we go ahead and start with Bullwinkle? Tell us
All
why
right.
you loved watching Goldie Hawn nearly drown.
I don't know, man. It's for some reason. I'm not saying I watched this movie when it came out when I was 12, but I remember watching this movie when it was like TNT and TBS. It was just one of those movies always on, right? And I was a Kurt Russell fan from Big Trouble in Little China that came out the year before. And I would, Goldie Hawn. I mean, she's an attractive lady, man. She was a looker back then. I mean, she's a little older now, but she still was a hot lady. I just like the premise of the movie, her being hotty toddy and uppity and rich, and her losing her memory, and Kurt Russell going I'm gonna take advantage of this, and brings her back to his house. It's like this little shed compared to what she used to live in, and now she has 3 or 4 kids, and this is all chaotic, and she ends up leaving her husband at the end, even though she regains her memory and falls in love with Kurt Russell. It's this cool flick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, nice little premise. The money can't buy you happiness. However unrealistic it is. M3, why don't you tell us what you felt about it?
She might not have any tits, but she's got a great ass. This movie was 100% perfection. Again, it's like the writing, the comedy, the actors they chose. Kurt Russell, I love Kurt Russell. I love the fact that they're a couple actually to date.
Mm-hmm.
So dang cool. And Goldie Hawn, she is Rich Barbie, dude. And Rich Barbie got taken down all the way to Stockton Barbie. Shit, man. And she handled it well. Great actress, a great actor that all of them did. Fucking awesome, awesome design. Awesome design.
Nice. And with 4 people picking it, gets a rank of A.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Next on the list, we've got Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, picked by Bullwinkle.
Only
Bullwinkle.
me? What?
Tell us why those were why you thought those were pillows.
Man, I'm telling you, I was about to say that the reason why I love the movie so much is that pillow, that the scene where they stay in the same room and he's like, "Hey, those aren't pillows."
Nice warm
It's
pillows.
just great. I don't know, man. Steve Martin, John Candy, the '80s comedy. Everybody thinks this is a Christmas movie, but it's not. It's a Thanksgiving movie. And them, I don't know, them two just randomly meeting each other, and one has everything, one has nothing, but one pretends to have everything. I don't know, man. It's just a good story. Steve Martin ends up really hating John Candy, which he should, because everything John Candy touches turns to shit, right? Everything. And it's a funny. One of the funniest scenes is when they're driving down the road backwards and he thinks the other car's drunk. That's hilarious to me, right? They're like, "You're going the wrong way," and he's like, "Oh, these people are drunk," Just a great. And then Steve Martin ends up having a heart at the end, and ends up having John Candy come to his house to eat Thanksgiving dinner and meet his family. That's just a good deal, dude. I love it. Great holiday movie, great comedy, great two wonderful actors, comedic actors.
Very nice. Yeah, it is a good movie, but again, 87. What a packed year. But only Bo had room, therefore it gets a D. Next up on the list, another S tier movie. The second film picked by
Great.
literally everyone. Predator. So I'll go ahead and start on this one. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, rest in peace. Jesse the Body Ventura, just killing it in this, and he definitely did not have time to bleed. Yeah, man, brilliant movie. Great villain, in the Predator Alien. Huge mistake on Jean-Claude Van Damme's part for not wanting to be in the suit, because he was the guy originally hired to be the Predator. And this was a really good balance in this film of action and Arnold puns. Like, unlike Batman and Robin, that was completely dominated by Arnold puns, this one had just the right amount. But yeah, this is a great movie. I'm not going to say much more so other people could talk about it. Digital, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you thought about it?
If it bleeds, we can kill it and get to the chopper. So yeah, this is a fantastic movie when it first come out, or when it first came out, rather. And you have this whole army mercenary type group, and they have all kinds of ethnicities and stuff, and just great actors all around. And when I say that, great for action movies, not Oscar worthy performances. And just like the look of the Predator itself was just, at the time, to me, it was mind blowing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but to me, that the look of that monster and was just mind blowing.
Yeah, the animatronics on the mouth alone.
Yes, something. Yes, and so I'll leave it for somebody else to talk about too. I don't want to take up everything.
Bullwinkle, are you here? Are you all right? M3, go ahead.
Hey, strap this on your sore ass. This movie was mind blown, dude. I love this movie, and obviously all of us did. We all picked it. Or anybody watching this in the future, these movies that we all pick, we're all a different bunch of people, but we all gravitate to obviously these two top movies shown. So good, dude. They picked the most iconic male, masculine men for these roles, excuse me. Man, blew it out of the water with fucking Deep Seal 6 and shit, or any high ops that the fucking government has to go extract something and then to endure a fucking alien at the same time that's gonna kill everything because he wants that trophy fucking head. Beautiful, beautiful, rare, beautiful fucking movie.
Nice. Bullwinkle?
I'm probably not going to say anything that no one else has already said, being last, but another great 80s movie, just full of testosterone, full of guns and ammunition and, masculine guys fighting the evil or being hunted, in this case, by a predator. And I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger and, just that whole cast of all those guys, man, it was like perfect for all those people. And the way the predator just took them out one by one, it was like he strategically took out bam, bam, bam. And then you kind of thinking, to yourself, it's an Arnold movie. He's definitely going to beat this guy because he's got to, right? It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he does. But it's just the way he does it, dude. It's just a great, great flick, man. Like, in my opinion, probably the best movie in 1987. It was just perfect,
Yeah, Doe Studios agrees with you.
Doe, what's up, Doe?
Tonight we still.
Yeah. So, the one last thing that I'll say about it is it's pretty interesting how, if you think about it, they realize, while there's still a few of them alive, that the predator left the girl alive because she was unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
And the only character in this movie the predator deems worthy of fighting while he's unarmed is Arnold himself, because the predator only attacks everyone else if they're armed, right? You remember when he fights Billy on the log, Billy's got the big Bowie knife waiting for him. But this is top tier. And
I've never thought of that, Prophet, but that makes sense that Arnold Schwarzenegger's presence alone was enough for him to fight him. Not needing a weapon.
Deem him a worthy target.
But not even needing a weapon, just by himself.
Yeah.
Good point.
Right. And not to mention the heat vision mixed with the sound with the heartbeat and shit. Like, bro. What a great production design that was, huh? That turned that iconic really quick. But all right, that movie picked by everybody gets our second S-rank movie of the evening. Next up on the list, Raising Arizona. This was picked by Ed. Ed is not here, but Raising Arizona is a movie about a ex-con and a ex-cop who get together and can't have kids. So they decide to steal a baby from a rich couple that had quintuplets. And chaos ensues from there. And it's just these two on the run from bounty hunters and police and everybody else with a stolen baby. What a great premise. But it is a fantastic movie. It's one of Nicolas Cage's best.
It is a good movie.
Ed was the only one with room on his list, and therefore it gets a rank of D. Next up, we've got RoboCop, but here's our third S-tier movie, picked by literally everybody. And Digital, why don't you start us off on RoboCop?
I work for Dick Jones. Dick Jones. Come on, it doesn't. The lines in this movie, are those great 80s lines, just like in Predator. A little bit different, but still those great 80s lines. And and even some that aren't lines, like it was just showing in the preview there when the officer was trying to stop RoboCop from accessing the information. He just pops his data spike out and that's it. And Dead or Alive, you're coming with me. Just, I had seen Peter Weller in other roles before this, but this is the first one I ever remembered that Peter Weller was in it. And, just the bad guys, the gang, Bodeker's gang in this, they're kind of like guys that you would like to hang out with, except for the fact that they're bloodthirsty criminals and like to kill and steal and stuff like that. But other than that, then they'd be guys that you'd want to hang out with. And
nice.
So I'll leave some other stuff for other people to say. But fantastic movie. I love this movie. I walked around for weeks making whoop 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 after seeing this movie.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ronnie Cox, great villain in everything he ever. He's always he was like a character actor like all through the '80s in like tons of different movies. He was in Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Great stuff. It was. I have to say, my favorite scene in the entire movie is watching Red Foreman say, "Bitches leave."
I think he called RoboCop dumbass at one point.
He might have. He might have even said that he's going to put his foot in his ass too. Who knows?
Probably.
But Murphy gradually getting his memory back, and it's kind of tragic, realizing that he can't ever be with his family again.
Mm-hmm.
And the design on Ed 209, such an amazing fucking villain robot, man.
It was.
Especially the scene where he fails his test and can't shut down and kills that poor dude in the office. Like, he's like, I'm complying. Oh, well, sorry, you're dead. But, Bullwinkle, tell us if you would sacrifice half of your flesh to eat baby food through a tube forever.
Nope. RoboCop. Just the whole premise, man, of, when we were younger at that age, man, how we loved robots, right? And then all of a sudden this guy, he should have been dead, and they somehow take him and put him into a robot. And, he's half alive, half not alive. And, he's a cop. He's like a super cop, and he protects everybody, and nobody can hurt him because he's made of metal. He's almost like a Superman type character. And then he gets, like you said, Prop, he gets his memory back, and then the whole family twist gets in, and then, just the iconic, the gun popping out from the side of his leg, man.
Yeah.
How cool was that? You're like, what? I don't know, man. Nothing you guys haven't thought about a million times about RoboCop. I haven't seen RoboCop in years. I probably need to watch it again. I can't think it probably doesn't hold up too well on some of the the robot movements and things like that. It can't, right? But it's probably a good watch still. But yeah, man, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I think it holds up really well, actually.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us, even though he does not have the presumed robo penis that you would love to explore, would you still buy that for $1?
Yes. Book him. Under what charges? He's a cop killer. I want my fucking lawyer. Fuck yeah. This movie's so fucking iconic and sick. I've seen this movie so many times. First time I saw it, I was blown away. There was right off the fucking bat titties in the first 36 seconds of the intro and shit, right? Fucking cool. And just brought my interest into it, not because of that, but I was like, whoa, what the hell? And then Ed 209, this movie has made me purchase Hot Toys Ed 209 and a Hyatt Toys Ed 209. I have one NECA RoboCop where Murphy's just fucking laid out and he's got all the shotgun shells, or blasting his chest, got missing an arm. That's epic and just very, very crazy. Motherfuckers do that shit, man. But I had this poster in my room in the 8th grade. It was up on my wall, man. Dope movie. Love it.
I think I had this poster as well, man, with a couple of Michael Jordan posters with it.
And I have to say, up to this point in my life, Murphy's death scene was the most graphic death scene I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Brutal.
It was
brutal.
We probably shouldn't have been watching that as kids.
Right.
Probably not. Well,
right.
Well, look at it, man.
And then they base a cartoon on it and sell us toys.
Yeah. That was rated R.
Welcome to the 80s.
Mistaken.
Right.
There was no PG-13 back then.
Welcome to the 80s, motherfucker.
But it was we all agreed that this movie is top tier, so it gets a rank of S.
Awesome. That's
next up on the list, we've got Roxanne.
Good movie.
M3, tell us what you know about Cyrano de Bergerac.
Okay, this is a movie about a dude who has a really obvious, what some might call a defect, but what he calls, and a lot of people who love him calls, like, what are you talking about, man? Don't think about nothing. He's got a really protruding nose, almost like a Pinocchio style, and he hates it, but he's so old he has to deal with it all the time. Somebody says something about it. So the comedy writing in this is phenomenal. There's the scene in the bar where the guy starts making fun of him and he starts making fun of himself even more. It's fucking great, dude. So Daryl Hannah's very pretty in this. Not really a fan of Daryl Hannah. Sorry, Daryl Hannah, if ever you watch this, but it's fine. Anyway, great movie. Anybody else can go after that, man. Or excuse me, Ed's not here. So sorry, Ed. Ed liked it too because he always thought that he could sit. You know, it was a chair on his face, but shout out Ed. Just kidding, Ed. Hey, but no,
Right. Steve Martin could please 2 women at once in this film.
Yeah. Steve Martin's great. He always is a good actor. He brings good life to what you would do if you had that appendage.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene in this film is where she's naked outside the fire department, and he says, "Do you want me to get you a towel or something?" And she says, "No." And then he doesn't get her one, and she's like, "Where's the towel?" He's like, "Well, you said no." And she's like, "I was being sarcastic." He's like, "Oh, sarcasm. Yeah, we don't get that around here anymore." But yeah, picked by 2 people, and therefore it gets a rank of C. M3, why don't you address the chat a little before we move on any further?
Oh, gee, I will absolutely do that. Let me throw my toggles here and fucking get out a full screen and shit. Dose Studio said, love the part where the spike data probes in his hand. Dose Studios is here. Big M is here. Deadman 1 is here. What up, Deadman? Hey, thanks you guys for anybody that stayed on and listened to some drunkenness. Zeta TF is here. But excuse me, if going back down, it looks like Doe's been the most commented here. Red Foreman causing trouble. I'd buy that for $1. Yeah.
Perfect.
Big M says there's a video on YouTube of Cullen, it's Peter Cullen, showing how he based the noise. Oh yeah, exactly. Big M. I remember seeing that. He does it well. But yeah, that's it there, Prophet.
Fantastic. Next on the list, The Secret of My Success.
Good movie.
Picked by myself and Curtis.
Hey, Zeta.
Man, I have to tell you guys, this movie, I fucking love this movie. I was a big fan of Michael J. Fox back in the day. I was a big fan of what's her name? Helen. The one that played Supergirl in that terrible Supergirl movie. But
Ellen Slater. Ellen Slater.
Helen Slater. There you go. Very attractive woman. Like the him hooking up with his aunt, not knowing it's his aunt, is hilarious. Yeah, this is just one of those like feel good comedies of the poor dude coming up on the rich dude and like getting the better of him. It's a very unrealistic fantasy, but it's fantastic. And honestly, I think it's a better use of that that music that they use in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think they use it better in this film than they did in that. That the music I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, dum 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 dum. And there's your copyright strike. But yeah, this movie is fantastic. The Auntie Vera's hot. Look at Auntie Vera. But yeah, I absolutely love this film. And I know Curtis feels the same way. If he was here, he would tell you all about his love for Auntie Vera. But yeah,
I like the movie as well.
Again, but 87.
Yep.
Very packed year, very stacked year.
There was at
only
least
Curtis and I picked it, and therefore it gets a rank of C.
There was at least 4 or 5 movies that I could switch out to my top 10 any given day, depending on what mood, or if I caught one on TV and watched a couple scenes, it would be popped in my top 10.
Right. Well, the big takeaway is that Digital likes Masters of the Universe better than Full Metal Jacket.
Well, I knew somebody else was going to pick Full Metal Jacket. I knew it was going to make the list.
And I talked about
All
it
right.
really quick. I didn't do the movie
is-
justice by talking about it. That movie is phenomenal, man.
This is probably the only show where Masters of the Universe from 1987 makes a top 10 list ever. So
Well, Bull, if it's any consolation, while you were missing, I did talk about Full Metal Jacket a little bit, and,
Okay,
and I
good.
mentioned how Albie Hammer was a actual drill sergeant. And
Good.
well, we're
Okay,
not going to
good.
backtrack, but
All right, good.
moving on. Next on the list, Spaceballs, Digital.
Oh,
What? Nobody else picked Spaceballs?
Nobody else picks Spaceballs.
Oh
Digital.
my god!
It was up there, digital. It's up
It
there.
Tell
was.
us when we got to
Man.
Disneyland.
Nobody else picked Spaceballs. My goodness.
I
I wish I had right now. I wish I had a prop can of Perry air to breathe in, but you know, I mean, there's so many things about this movie. This was probably actually the first Mel Brooks movie that I had seen up until this point. And then, you know, after this, I thought, oh well, this is hilarious. So all this other stuff must be. So you know, I had to go back and watch everything. But you know, like Michael Winslow in there, we've lost the bleeps, the creeps, and the jeeps. The what, and the what? And you know, just like even like some of the names in there, like you know, the droid's name is Dot Matrix, like a printer, and just so much crazy silliness going on in here. It's hard. I mean, you can't mention anything. It's like it's showing there the main spaceship is a Winnebago with wings, and you know John Candy is brilliant in this movie, and Mel Brooks is brilliant. Period.
Please don't make a fuss. It's just plain yogurt.
And you know Rick Moranis is one of my favorite roles with him, and of course the guy that plays Tuvok in Voyagers, and there he is right there. And this is not his favorite film that he was ever in. He says, because all the Star Trek episodes I've ever been in, and people still walk up to me all the time, constantly, and say, we ain't found shit. Combing the desert, you know, because they were like combing the desert, and the two black dudes had the hair pick, and they were like, we ain't found shit.
Look at him.
And then your Schwartz is almost as big as mine. That sounds like an M3 thing where he's comparing his Schwartz with other people.
Schwartz made a Schwartz.
And then, you know, the transporter thing where it was a whole thing, and you know, they transported President Scrooge, and and it was the next room, but like when he got in there, he was like from the waist down, he was backwards, and he's like, why didn't somebody tell me I had such a big ass? Just so many great lines in this movie. It's a fantastic movie. If you've never seen Spaceballs, where the hell have you been?
Yeah, you need to
for the last 30 years.
I told you never to call me on this screen.
Hey, Prophet, real quick.
I thought you said we were going to watch Radar.
Did they have to get
I always drink coffee when I'm watching Radar. You know that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, M3.
No. I'm so sorry. Did they have to get licensing from George Lucas?
Yes, George Lucas did have to sign off on this.
Yes, he did, and he wholeheartedly did, just like he did with the Family Guy Star Wars special.
Family Guy, yeah.
And yeah, those studios called it ludicrous. They've gone plaid. Ludicrous speed.
Well, Digital, I have to say, your Schwartz is as big as mine, and you handled it well. But you are the only one who picked it, so it gets a rank of D.
Nasty.
Oh.
Next on the list, The Lost Boys. Our last S-tier movie of the night, picked by all but one. Bull did not pick this movie, but the rest of us did. M3, why don't you start us off on why? Tell us all about how this saxophone solo made it so you get a boner every time you hear the saxophone now.
Yes. He's tan. He's buff. He's wearing a chain around his neck. He's got a mohawk. The guy's sexy, man.
And he still believes.
Fucking great. This movie right here, we covered it 1 year on Halloween Bangers. Man, it's a good movie, great movie. Both Corey Haim and Corey Feldman do a really good job. The vampires, they made them look really good. And Santa Cruz is right down the street from me and shit, so it's over there in that area. Hellhound. Oh, dude, this movie I could go on forever. I think we did a 9-hour show just talking about it. We had Too Many Figures actually painted some artwork for it. He did David hanging upside down. Fucking amazing, amazing movie. And Thou Shalt Not Fall. That's all I gotta say. It's a great movie.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna say Jamie Gertz, one of my hottest crushes as a kid. Loved everything about this movie, front to back. I watched this movie probably 100 times, has probably everyone else. And I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I'm gonna let Digital close it out.
All right. Show of hands. Who didn't want to go to the Frog Brothers comic book store?
Yeah, right.
I sure
You
did.
know,
My hands up.
you know, I mean, just this movie is great up and down. The writing was great, and you know, like the main villain really being the guy. I remember him from doing voiceovers in commercials for like Home Depot, and he did car commercials and shit too. But he had been in a bunch of movies too.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just thought that was, you know, a nice little twist for it, and just, you know, fantastic movie all the way around.
Can I mention something, Prophet, real quick? My sister Becky, she's 2 years older than me, and my sister Helena is 3 years older than me. They would get this movie and play it, take it out, rewind it, put it back in, take it out, rewind it, put it back in, take it out for days. That and Grease as well. So Grease and this movie are probably one of their most iconic movies. If we were to ask my sisters, like, what movie is your favorite? You know, so I was just like, well, they're taking over the TV. I gotta sit here and watch it. That's how many times I've seen it.
Fantastic. Yeah, this movie's great. And,
I like it too. I like it
all
too.
but one of us
Great
loved
movie.
it.
I love it too. Now it's a great movie.
It does get a rank of S. Next on the list, The Princess Bride, picked by Bull, Digital, Ed, and myself.
Nice.
Bullwinkle, why don't you start us off this time?
As you wish. Good reference, right?
Good reference.
Great movie, man. Wesley, you know, he's a great character in that. How he went from a farm boy, just helping around, falling in love. She thinks he's dead. He decides that he comes back, but he's the pirate, and she doesn't know it's him. She pushes him down the hill, and then they're on the run because she's supposed to be getting married and forced to be married. Just your typical princess movie, being forced to marry the wrong guy, and the hero comes and takes her away, and it has Andre the Giant in it, and I forgot the guy's name, the inconceivable guy, Wallace something. What's his name? Inconceivable. The guy when he's taking the poison.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He played the Grand Nagus on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
that's always though I say it's the Grand Nagus.
Such a great scene. How he goes through all the villains, and then he becomes friends with them, and they help him out, or not villains, but the people after him, like the bounty hunters that are after him or whatever. He befriends them and they help him out. It's a cool flick, dude, for the 80s. I'll let some other people talk about it.
Yeah, I have to say the best line in this film, it goes to Vicini.
Oh yeah,
the guy you were just talking, the inconceivable guy.
Yeah.
When he says, "You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is never get involved in a land war in Asia. But only slightly less well-known is never go in against the Sicilian when death is on the line."
That's great, Prophet.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Mandy Patinkin, amazing in this movie. Andre the Giant, amazing in this movie. Carrie Hughes, everything about this movie, fantastic. I was even able to tolerate Fred Savage, who I normally hate.
Who can say the part with him about the six-finger guy and how you killed
yeah. My name is Christian Montoya.
No, M3. Come on,
No,
man. It's
Christian.
Inigo Montoya.
You got to
What
do it
did I
right.
say? Yes, I say Christian Montoya. Yeah, sorry.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I love it. The six nigga.
Digital, why don't you close us out on Princess Bride?
Well, I think you guys kind of covered everything except for Columbo playing Columbo, trying to not play Columbo.
That's right. He's
And
kind of
Prince
Christopher Walken, not trying to play.
I mean, Peter
Falk.
Falk, he's I'm sure he was a great guy to work with, even with his glass eye. But and at the time, Fred Savage was, he was a big name back at that time with the Wonder Years and everything. But yeah. And I don't know if you guys have seen like all the Inigo Montoya memes and shit. It's like, my name is Inigo Montoya. I'm having a yard sale. Prepare to buy.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Nice. Well, everyone who's here except for M3 picked it. So we will all be able to survive the fire swamp. M3's as good as dead, though. And this movie gets a rank of A.
Prophet, can you let M3 read Doe's comment? It's about that movie real fast.
Absolutely. M3, why don't you address the chat for us?
Yes. Let me gaggle upon this. Dos Studio said, "Get back, witch." They said that Billy Crystal ad-libbed his whole scene. They just let him go. And then
That's
he
pretty
said
cool.
they were checking out the hot vampire guys. Oh, sorry. Yeah. And Big N said, "Fuck yeah, Lost Boys, best sax solo ever." That's great. Joe, I thought that was a quote, so I tried doing any voice that I could choose that it might be. Sorry. So he said, "Get back, witch." Sorry, Joe.
I didn't know that they let him ad lib. That's pretty good information. You know that, Rob?
Yeah, I believe it wasn't just Billy Crystal either. I believe Carole King did most of her ad libbing too.
She's so funny. I like her. She's the fairy in Scrooge.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. Well, bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle. Next on the list, The Running Man.
Yeah.
This was picked by me and Bull. And I'm surprised it wasn't picked by more.
Me
I'm going to go first on this one, and I'm just going to say this movie has the greatest Arnold Schwarzenegger line in any movie ever. Right after Richard Dawson offers him the contract, and he says, "Killian, I'll live to see you eat that contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and rip out your goddamn spine."
That's perfect.
Fantastic movie. Ben Richards, amazing. Ed pointed something out to me the other day when we were on the phone. The book for this is very different from the film. Never read the book, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say I absolutely love the film.
Yeah, it's loosely on it, based on it. Not that I've ever read it.
Kind of like
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this movie is just it's great. I there's nothing I can say I don't like about it. Do some of the practical effects not stand up? Yeah, I could say that's true, but I don't care. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger fantasticness in every way. Bullwinkle, what do you think?
I agree, man. It's Conan the Barbarian in the future, dude. He's just whipping ass and taking names, man. He's wrongly accused. He's having to play this stupid game. The guy that's over it. He's not. In no intention is he ever wanting anybody to win the game. That's not what it's about. It's the number one. Imagine in 2025, every Friday night, getting around the TV with your family. Some people drinking beer, other people eating popcorn, doing whatever they want to, and they're watching the number one show on television. It's The Running Man, and it's people that's been accused of crimes, and what they're doing is having a chance to survive if they can get through the gauntlet of all these crazy, insane, strong people, humans that have the advantage, and all these people are running from them. And that was the number one show at the time, and it was just I don't know, man. It was just cool to watch. Like, I've seen this movie multiple times. I watched it not too long ago, about 4 years ago, and still enjoyed it 4 years ago. It's just a really good Schwarzenegger movie at the top of Schwarzenegger's time frame, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is my favorite Death Game movie.
And
But,
before we move on, I know I didn't pick it, but I do have to say that them casting Richard Dawson, a real life game show host from the Family Feud, as the evil murderous game show host in this movie was just genius.
Yeah, and can I add to that and top on that? Richard Dawson to be that from Family Feud.
I know.
Such a sinister transition and nailed it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
It
call.
was 180 degree, man. It was the complete opposite.
Yes.
Right, and there's a one point in the movie where the tone shifts dramatically, and it's at the point where the old lady puts her money on Ben Richards instead of any of the hunters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Like that, at that point, the crowd switches, because they were all rooting for his death up to that point, and after that, and then once they show the true footage of the massacre and show how he was the only one not trying to murder civilians.
Yeah.
Like,
It is,
it's just a great movie. But unfortunately, only Bull and I found room on our lists, and therefore it gets a rank of C.
That was a Rocky IV moment in that movie.
Right. So next on the list, The Untouchables. Now, this was only picked by me, which I consider an absolute travesty, being from Chicago. But I have to say, man, this depiction of the Prohibition era gangsters in Chicago is very entertaining. The cinematography of it is almost Tim Burton-esque. Like, because you watch this movie and it almost like blends into like 89 Batman in cinematography quality. It's, it's just far enough from reality to suck you into it without, making you feel too, fucked up by the weird shit that happens in it. Right? By the horrible things that happen in it. I mean, they literally have a little girl deliver a briefcase bomb to a rival gang's bar, and get killed in the process. Sean Connery, iconic in this movie. He gets the line of the film for me when he says, if they bring a knife, we bring a gun. If they put one of yours in the hospital, you put one of theirs in the morgue.
Yep. Fantastic
movie. Kevin Costner as Elliot Ness kills it. Every cast member in this is fantastic.
Yeah.
De Niro kills it as Capone. And I just have to say, I'm kind of surprised I'm the only one that picked this. But, again, 87, very tough year. But if you haven't seen The Untouchables, do yourself a favor, watch it. It's not your typical gangster film. It's not like Goodfellas or Casino or any of those. It's really its own animal altogether, and you will not regret watching it. It's fantastic.
Hey, Prophet, just for the record, Digital Caveman said that Masters of the Universe was better than The Untouchables.
Yeah, that he did. That he did.
That he did.
I knew somebody was going to pick this one, though. I'm surprised it was only one. One of the few Kevin Costner movies I can stand to watch. I don't really care for Kevin Costner because in every single thing that he plays, he's Kevin Costner. But I can remember, like, I don't remember if it was a Saturday Night Live skit or something, but they were making fun of that scene you were talking about with Sean Connery, and it's like, if they go like this, you go like this.
I remember that.
Well, the best Sean Connery quote ever is, "Sometimes a woman deserves to get smacked."
Oh yeah. On he was being interviewed. I seen that.
But I was the only one who picked this, and therefore it gets a rank of D. Next on the list, another movie just picked by me, The Witches of Eastwick.
Oh.
Jack Nicholson plays the devil. He's trying to spawn a new Satan, and he impregnates all 3 of these witches. I would have happily impregnated 2 out of the 3. I would have left Cher off. I prefer my women to be more flesh than plastic. But Susan Sarandon and Michelle Pfeiffer could have both got it. And Jack Nicholson is the devil in this. Amazing. The cinematography in this, the writing in this, like the way he seduces each of them separately. Just such a great movie. Again, if you haven't seen this, please watch it. If you're a fan of Jack Nicholson, you won't be disappointed watching him play the devil.
No.
Just great. Nothing really more to say about it. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, you already know what I'm talking about, and you realize that it must have been an incredible year if I'm the only one that picked this. Which I was, and therefore it gets a rank of D.
D.
And we're on to the last movie, folks. The last film of the night. Wanted Dead or Alive with Rutger Hauer, picked by Digital. Digital, why don't you tell us all about Rutger Hauer and how he actually did more than Blade Runner?
You know, in this movie, he was a bounty hunter, and I don't remember the entire story. Gene Simmons, I believe, was the villain, the main villain in it. And Rutger Hauer, like in everything else Rutger Hauer's in, you know, he's a total badass. And I just, you know, the final scene in the movie after he catches the guy and the police show up, and, you know, he's handcuffed. Rutger Hauer had stuffed a grenade in his mouth because he was tired of listening to Gene Simmons talk. And you know, the guy that hired him came up, oh, well, you know, you brought him in alive, you'll get the bonus. So as he's walking past the guy in the handcuffs, he pulls the pin out of the grenade and says, fuck the bonus. And just keeps walking, and, you know. So, but, you know, if you haven't ever seen this movie, please,
Never seen
you know,
it.
at least give it one watch. I think this was my first Rutger Hauer movie that I remembered. That, yeah, hey, Rutger Hauer was in this movie, and
I've never heard.
It's a fun watch.
I've heard
If you want to see Gene Simmons get his head blown off with a grenade, this is the movie to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this out because I've never seen this. But I have to say, Rutger Hauer, he was made famous for me by Blade Runner, and then The Hitchhiker.
The Hitchhiker.
Yeah, The Hitchhiker. Yeah, that's right. I remember him from that.
Crazy motherfucker.
Right, and then if you want a little bit of later career for him, he plays the Pope in Sin City.
Yeah.
The one that endorses Elijah Wood eating hookers.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a.
I need to rewatch that. I've seen that one time.
But yeah, Digital is the only one who had room on his list for this, and it gets a rank of D. And this is our final score of the evening, folks.
No B's.
No B's this time. Not a single movie picked by 3.
Hey, remind me what S means.
S is like superior.
Okay,
Super.
superior A B C D. Got it.
Right. Well, it's like this ranking system is like Japanese. Like this is how it's, everything is in animes. Like it's like if something's S tier, it's the best of the best. But yeah, man, this was a really hard year, folks. Like there were a lot of good movies, and there's still a bunch more stuff that could have made a top 10 list easily that none of us picked. Just we didn't have room. You know, at the end of the day, like we could 87 probably could have been a top 20 easily.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction. Batteries Not Included. You guys remember that movie?
It was in here.
Yeah, that was the that's here.
Digital picked it.
Oh, you picked it?
Yeah,
I picked it. I must have been doing something else. Which one?
You're out.
There it is. Batteries Not Included.
Okay, good. It needed to make it. Fatal Attraction. Did it make it?
No.
Fatal Attraction did not make it.
Okay.
Wasn't even mentioned, man.
That's a good movie.
Was it this year?
Yeah.
That's Rebecca De Mornay, right?
No,
it's
that's Glenn Close and Michael Douglas.
That's right. Glenn Close is not pretty me at all, man. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Glenn Close.
This right here, M3. She did this right here.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Right? Just
No,
just
Sharon
for the record,
Stone
chat,
did
Mhm.
that.
for the record, chat, M3 is ranking Glenn Close on her appearance, not her talent as an actress.
Well, okay. Look at who else is very talented that I'm not a fan of. Robert De Niro. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of him
People
either.
just aren't
I used
cool.
to be.
They suck. Actually, I
All
gotta
right.
look-
Well, now we know why M3 didn't pick The Untouchables.
yeah. Some people are. Oh, I do like Robert De Niro in a lot of movies, but man, he sure got weird.
Yeah, Robert De Niro's hit and miss for me, but when he's good, he's really good.
Yeah.
I appreciate his talent. Same with Glenn Close too.
Those studios said, yeah, she cooked the rabbit in the pot, and his wife put a bullet in her head.
Yeah, man.
Well, in her defense, she wouldn't have had to put a bullet in her head if her husband could have not put a penis in her crotch.
That is correct.
It's kind of a cautionary tale, really, Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. You never know when she's going to be a crazy.
Right? Because there's a 80% chance that she will.
At least.
If she's Mexican, you got 100% chance. I don't fuck with them Mexican girls, man, for a reason. My sister, she's nuts, dude. Shut up, Becky.
I want to go on record and say that the views of M3 are not reflected as the views of the Prophet Director.
Or
Yeah,
the bull lady.
Prophet Director never had a Mexican.
Or the rest of the Banger Society.
Yeah, that's only M3.
I have dated Mexican girls in my time, and I did not dislike them more or less than any other girls I dated.
Interesting, because they're crazy.
He just disliked every one of them he dated.
Yeah.
Hey, look, they yes, M3, I'll give you. Yes, they are crazy, but no crazier than any other white girl or black girl or Puerto Rican girl I dated.
Yeah, you're right. Depends on there's S tier crazy. Okay. There's A crazy, B crazy, C crazy.
Y'all want to watch
that's our show for the evening. Now, normally when Curtis hosts the show, we do a little backstage afterwards, and we have a nice little conversation with anyone in the chat who wants to jump in and talk with us. But Digital's hosting tonight, so I'm going to leave that up to him.
Yes, let me. Oh Lord, I had to find the
Invite.
yeah.
Right.
I have to find the link.
Oh, can I address chat again?
Yes, you.
By all means,
certainly
M3,
may.
please do.
Doe said M3, so M tier crazy then. Yes. Then you guys just disavowed M3 without thought. I know. Thank you, Doe. Yeah, she picked the rabbit in the. Oh yeah, and then Bull got that one. That's great. Yeah. Yes,
All
dang it.
right. For anybody that wants to join the backstage, there is the link.
Doe, you've been on with us before. What are you doing tonight, man? I'm only gonna be here for maybe another 7 hours, so.
I won't be here with you for that long.
For me.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so, and give people a chance to jump in, and then we'll kill it. But yeah, guys, I think 87 was a really good year for movies.
Yeah, and we got 3 more 80 shows, 88,
2
89,
more, 88
and then
89. That's it.
I thought we were going to do the whole
80s.
like a whole overview of the entire 80s.
Well, we will, but that was the way that show will work is we're gonna only be able to pick our top 10 from all the movies that were S tier on all the other years of 80s up to this point.
Yes.
It's cool.
So
Doe.
basically, all the years that we've done for the 80s, any movies that that made S rank will be eligible for us to pick for that final wrap up show.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
But
I like that.
when the 80s are done, we're going to do the 70s as an entire decade. So it'll be the top 10
top 10 of the
top
70s.
10 picks for the entirety of the 70s.
Mm.
Now,
Hey,
M3, you were initially worried about that until we started telling you how many amazing movies you actually know from the 70s.
Right. And to say Bullwinkle was like, that's a good idea. On all the S tier movies that went from 1980 to 1989, holy shit. How are we gonna be able to fucking pick top 10s out of those? That's
Yeah,
gonna
we had 5 tonight, right? Or 4 tonight.
shit.
There were 4 added to the list tonight. 4 of them added to the list tonight.
That's some difficulty level right there, man. That's where you're gonna be like, but then that means I gotta block this out of my head. Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Well, there's a few movies I can tell you off the top of my head that will 100% make my list for the S tier for the whole year. And I can make a guess for a year that we haven't done yet, 89, that Batman will actually be a S tier and make it on there. And assuming that Batman winds up being S tier, that will make my overall list, along with Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Empire Strikes Back,
Return of the Jedi,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot to pick from.
Ghostbusters.
I said Ghostbusters.
Okay, you did. Okay, good.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
Howard the Duck.
Superman 2.
Howard the Duck.
Blasphemer.
Make the S tier. Superman
Masters
2.
of the Universe.
Yes,
no, those aren't eligible, Bull. They didn't make S tier.
They did.
Masters of the Universe is making my list,
I'm just
regardless of whether it made S tier or not. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just had to get it in there, guys. Had to get it in there.
So,
yeah, Doe says, glad you picked up Digital. A few of us were on Curtis's live watching and thinking the time was incorrect. Yeah, sadly, Mother Nature decided that, Curtis has been on top enough and it was time for him to take it instead of dish it out. And cut his power off and molested him in the dark, so he couldn't make it tonight.
Good.
Yes,
grief,
and
man.
Prophet and I tried to send out the correct link, later, but it was only like at
20 till
7:30 or so when I got everything together. So,
hey, before we go,
well, hey, we got this done in this was under 2 hours today. That shirt is fantastic. I wish Estray was here to see it.
Yes,
but
we need to get him in one of the panels.
Yeah,
we have room. We have room now. We have room for another panelist now, don't we?
Well, like I said, we've got our regular 5, which is you, me, M3, Ed, and Curtis. Bullwinkle tonight was our guest panelist. Bull isn't always available. We were lucky that Bull was available this time, but he's not always available, so I'm not going to name Bull as a permanent panelist. And in fact, for 1988, we have a different guest panelist. Dead Man Juan said he was going to jump on for 1988.
Cool.
We established that with him last night, so Dead Man Juan will be the guest panelist on the next episode. And I am hoping that Bullwinkle will come back for the S tier roundup, the 80s roundup episode, though.
I definitely will make that happen. That would be fun.
Yep.
Right, because and I will compile that list, let you guys know what all made it, so you know what you could pick from.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, because I was bored one day. I went ahead, I did my 87, 88, and 89 lists all at the same time.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you. I gotta do my 88.
I was like, well, while I don't have any footage to edit, let me go ahead and get these lists done.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to get ahead of it every now and then. But yeah, hey, now that we're done with the show for the night, and we got it done in like an hour and a half. That's pretty decent time,
Nice.
Yeah, didn't go 3 hours.
Well, I think reining it in, so we're only talking about the movies that we picked.
Yeah, that helps
out quite a bit. But yeah. Thanks everyone in the chat for coming. Everyone who showed up tonight in the chat.
Yes. Thank you.
Really appreciate you stopping by to watch. I see there's only 2 left watching at the moment, and I think I'm one of them. So I think Doe is our other guy still watching.
Shout out, Doe.
Doe, really appreciate it.
Yes.
Feel free to jump backstage if you want, but we're going to shut down in about a minute now.
Yeah. So
And,
anybody want to run through, tell everybody where you can find them and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead, Digital. Start us off.
Of course, I am the Digital Caveman. If you're here watching the show, you know where to find me. I'm also on Instagram as Digital Caveman. Make sure you put that extra in on the end, because if not, you'll see some other caveman you don't want to see. And
Right, unless you want the definition of a sneether.
Yeah. So that's me. You guys again know where to find me. I'm here. Prophet.
Yeah, I'm the Prophet Director, as you all know. You can find me on this channel, M3's channel, Curtis's channel, and my own channel. Yeah, I don't do live streams on my channel. I just do pre-made stop motion. But yeah, M3, tell us about yours.
Yes. This is I'm here. I love dolls, and that's all I got. Bull, go ahead.
Bull 80. I'm Bullwinkle _ 80 on Instagram. I don't really post a lot there. I posted some back in the day, but you can still go check out some of my photography. Check me out I'm on Kaz's show sometimes, Curtis's, M3's, Now Digital sometimes. Sometimes I'm on Ed's, Pac. Pac's channel, 3 Live podcast or whatever. We do that. M3 and I do. Everybody knows me. Anybody watching this knows all of us, so you know where to find us.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but for the future people, Bullwinkle, they gotta find you somewhere. He's at merman.com, motherfucker.
Oh, Merman. Also, sometimes hey everybody. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Peace. I might be Merman. It's not confirmed yet. We don't know yet. Maybe.
It's like, are you Bruce Wayne? We don't know.
We don't know. We really, really don't know.
Hey, but thanks for doing the show, Prophet. What a great setup, man. I appreciate it. Have great fun, great times.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. There's the butthole line,
man.
That's 2 buttholes crammed next to each other, and both have hemorrhoids.
That looks like a real good time, man. A real good time.
I love fish sticks.
And the last thing I'm going to mention before we end the stream is around May 19th, my 1000th regular episode will air if everything stays on schedule as it is, and I don't foresee it not. So I don't know if it will be the 19th or later in that week, but I will be having a live stream to celebrate that 1000th episode.
We're bringing the code.
I'll definitely come check you out, man. I'll come check it out.
Well, you never know, man. I might have a rotating guest list.
Oh, that is great.
Let me know.
I know. I hope I'm in on that. May 19th.
Hey. Show up, and as long as you're, not being a complete total asshole.
Yeah, you can be a little asshole.
You'll be welcome. You can be a little asshole-y.
I don't think that's any of us.
We're medium assholes, but none of us.
Yeah, I can be a bit asshole-y sometimes.
I have never been that way, ever.
No way.
Not really.
Not you either, Bo. You've never been.
Not really.
Oh, y'all just don't know. Y'all didn't know me back in my Walmart days.
All right. Well, keep in mind, folks, Digital has a weight limit on assholes he allows on his show.
That's right.
Weight limit, yeah.
All right, guys. I think that does it for the show. And
bye, everybody.
See you next time.
Peace out.